Hi friends. All right, real quick video. I wanted to show you different ways that you could reuse your carnival costume accessories, right? So carnival costumes cost a lot for a reason. And the accessories that go with the costume, that's one of those reasons, right? So I, for the most part, almost always keep the accessories because you can wear them with regular clothes. Okay. So plug, if you have not already, please listen to my podcast on Nice-ish with with Carnival, right? So they are all about sustainable carnival, right? And trying to make ways to make the earth happier by reusing all the things that we wear for Carnival. So I was, I've always been doing this. And so I was glad to see that there was an organization that had been formed to do just that, right? So I'm just going to show you a couple of things. So most recently, when I went to St. Lucia last year, RIP St. Lucia 2020, when I went to St. Lucia last year and my friends who were in the Zuvo section with the African print costume, I was like, yeah, I'm going to need those accessories if you don't want them. And there were a lot of these necklaces that came with the costume. So, my friends, being my friends, they gave them to me. But there were a lot. I think there were at least 3 of these in each costume. So couple examples. So yes, you can use it as a necklace and you can double it up, triple it up and wear it and be just extra glam, right? That's one option. The other thing that you can do, and I did this in one of my latest recordings and you'll probably see it. You can double it up and put it on as a little bracelet. Now for my creatives, this is why I am the way that I am. What you can do is you can disassemble this. Okay. So I'm going to give you a close up. So this is a bead cap, right? This is let's dissect. This is an earring finding, right? Find those at your local art store. This is a bead cap. Can also find this at your local art store. These are beads. And I know this looks all intricate and whatnot, but I'm gonna break this down for you, okay? I'm not gonna do it right now, but if you took this off, if I'm gonna spread this out and there's fabric in there, I will take this out. I will do a full out tutorial for you. There's fabric in there. All this is one very long piece of string similar to a waist bead, and they wrapped it around the rope that is inside, and then they capped it off with a bead cap. That's what this is. Now, granted, again, breaking down the carnival aspect, this shit takes a long time to make, right? Like these beads are tiny, okay? And so it takes hours. I'm pretty sure this took a long ass time to put on a long ass piece of string and then to wrap it around a piece of rope and then glue all. Time. I need you guys to respect creatives, okay? Like we not just out here doing this in 5 minutes. It's not happening. I mean, there could be a machine that's making this, but me and the people that I know, we make it by hand, okay? But anyway, so that's option number 3. So you can take this off, take all the beads out, make your own little waist beads, you can do a lot of things with this. I have so many ideas, right? Take it off, cut it up, make earrings, make earrings like this, loop it up. So many options. All right. Next. This was a carnival bracelet, just whatever, and I wrapped it with fabric. This is another type of carnival bracelet. This came from some costume, don't ask me, but I do plan to also wrap this with fabric because it's beginning to get discolored. We don't really want that. Additionally, it's not tight enough. So if I put fabric on it, it'll make it thicker and then it'll fit around my arm. Tutorial coming on how to wrap this. Then some of them you don't have to do anything to, right? This was a piece that came from my Bermuda Heroes Weekend costume from 2016. Didn't go because your girl freaking lost her job. So I was like, you know what? The adult thing to do would be to not go, but I still want my costume because I can't get a freaking refund on it and it's hot. So I still want it. So I wear this regular to work, to whatever. Everybody thinks like, oh my God, it's from Wakanda. I had this before Wakanda came out. Wakanda, before Black Planet. I can't. Before Black Planet, and I said it again, before Black Panther came out. But anyway, it goes like literally, it can jazz up NT outfit, honey. You see, look. Throw a black hat on with some heels, take these earrings off, swap it out for some gold ones, you good to go. Okay, now for my creatives. Break this down again. If you're feeling fancy and you really wanted to disassemble this, you could, because you have all the pearls that you can use. These pieces right here can be individualized. Is that a word? I don't know. You can make a whole bunch of earrings from this. You can make other things from this. Break it down. Okay? All right, that's all I wanted to share. Options. You ain't got to throw nothing away. And then on the side, these earrings I made in St. Lucia a couple of days before Road, after I got my costume. I don't like tassels on costumes. Like, I don't like them randomly in places, so I took them off of the costume and I made earrings for the Road, which is usually like a challenge for me because I don't really want to wear regular earrings or whatever. So I made these. The tassel was already intact. All I did was take one of the gems off of the costume and I glued it to this, and I added a finding. Patidon. Okay. Let's give you some ideas. Since we're not having Carnival in 2020, you have time, right? And especially if you still have your old costumes, you have time to look and see what you can do with it. And when Carnival come back again, you can have ideas and you can know what to do with it. Okay? All right. Just gonna sprinkle that in there. Okay, so for this first project, we are going to need a glue gun, the bangles from our Carnival costume, some scissors, and the fabric of your choice. I am using denim, and I'm cutting it fresh from a pair of jeans that no longer fit me. And to be honest, they never really fit me before, but I used to just press through anyway. But we're not going to do that anymore. Okay, so here are my jeans and these are my bangles. And I'm going to basically just cut a piece of fabric from the bottom of the pant leg. And I'm going to trim off the hem, and I'm going to just cut it down the middle from one of the other seams. So then I'm just going to put my bracelet in the middle, kind of test out to see if it's has enough spacing for overlapping on all four sides. Do like a rough draft, and then I know what I am working with. It's a very simple process from here on out. You take your glue, you put it on the bangle. You can do this as neatly or as messy as you want to. Do it in sections. Hot glue gun, flip it over, hot glue gun some more, add more fabric, and you keep doing the same thing until your bracelet is wrapped. You don't want to hot glue gun the entire thing because pieces of it will get cold and it won't stick, and you don't want that. That's smoothed out, I'm going to take my scissors and make some snips so that the edges have an opportunity to fold over neatly. You don't want any bulky sides or corners. Then take your glue gun and put some glue on the sides where you're going to fold over that first flap. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side as well. See how nice and neat that is? So excited! And then what I'm going to do is just take off this extra piece that we really don't need. And we're going to kind of do like a nice little tuck, sample tuck to see how it fits. Looks good to me. And we are ready to glue down those little flaps. Put a little glue on one side, fold it over to make like a little triangle. It's kind of like how you're folding a gift when you're wrapping it. Do the other side, fold over. Then you have a point, and then you're going to put glue on the inner part of that point. Refill. Fold it over, and we're good to go. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. If you wanted to get funky and creative, you can take those edges that you cut off, put it on there, layer it up. Take some of the iron-on things that you had, layer it up. Any findings that you have laying around the place, you can just throw it on top. There is no limit to your creativity. Do what you want, be expressive, have fun. Look at that. So many options. And now for our second tutorial in this video. Okay, so what you see here are basically the pieces that I pulled off the costume, some E6000 glue, my jewelry pliers, and then some jewelry findings that I'm going to use for the project. These are some tassels that I pulled off that came complete with those little gold pieces that you see. Another piece that I pulled off, again, I do not like tassels, but it has a lot of cute little beads and things that I wanted to keep. And this was like an iron-on patch that I pulled off of the bra. So we're gonna work only with the tassel situation right now. And I decided that I wanted to just use the whole thing as earrings. And instead of taking it all apart, I want to use it as it is. And this is some old glue that was already on there, and instead of busting your head trying to take it off, you can just take the hot glue gun and take the tip of it and heat it up so that the glue melts a little bit, and you can try to smooth it out if it's stubborn and it doesn't want to come off. So I have a clip-on earring finding here, and then I also have a regular earring post for those who have pierced ears. But because I'm feeling in a mood, I am going to use the clip-on finding. E6000 is Bay, and so I'm going to use it because it is a permanent glue. So I'm just taking off this old glue that's sitting on the top, and I'm just going to put a little bit on a random piece of cardboard paper that I had laying around. You could also apply it to the finding with like a little like a wooden craft stick, but I like to just dip the finding in the glue a little bit and then position position it onto my piece of jewelry. I swirl it around to get the extra strings off. And then you just stick it on the piece and press it on carefully. There is going to be some spillage depending on how much glue you have, but that is normal. For those of you who are extra crafty and you deal up with resin like I do, you can also kind of add a drop of resin over the top of that for a very permanent solution. The E6000 on this piece, you know, it might come off over time. So if it's a piece that I truly care about, I'm going to add a resin to the top of that so that it's really permanent. And we are done with our clip-on earrings. You'll sit and let this dry for 24 hours and good to go. So next I'm gonna work with these little leftover pieces. I'm deciding to, first of all, you need to take off this excess piece of whatever this is. I think it's like felt. It's a little challenging to come off, so I'm gonna have to use the scissors. But what I'm opting to do with this piece is take it apart and make a ring from the turquoise pieces that you see. So the first thing that we are going to do is disconnect the pieces that we want from the pieces that we don't want. And I'm going to take my jewelry pliers to twist the loop from the orange tassel and just take it off of the green part. Like so. See that? Simple tip. And then we're going to do the same thing and take it apart from the gem that's attached. And I'm trying to show you that you could also kind of use this as like a bracelet attachment, right? So if you had a long enough bracelet, attach the two and be done with it. Or you can attach that to a bracelet that you already made. And you'll see how I did that later on. Another creative option is making this extra stuff into like a brooch, right? Or a pin. So this is a pin back that I could glue to the back of this gem piece, and then you can stick it on your favorite blazer or vest or something, right? It adds a little zhuzh. This is another type of pin back that comes apart. It's like a two-piece. And you would just kind of do the same thing that you did with the earring that I did with the clip-on earring, and glue it to whatever surface and then pin it on your clothing. Lots of options. But like I said, I am choosing to make this into a ring, possibly 2 rings, so I'm not going to need this gem piece that's attached to the green pieces. So I'm just going to take it off. I'm taking the jump rings apart, and now I only have the separated pieces. So now I'm going to take my ring finding and I'm going to glue it to the green piece with some more E6000. And that is actually going to be all it takes to make a ring. And like I said, if you're into resin, you could go the extra mile and add resin to the inside of this, and it will be a permanent piece that you cannot undo. The beauty about working with E6000 is if you really wanted to, you could take things apart. And I'm going to let this dry for 24 hours and my ring will be set. You could also do like a double ring. You can add another ring finding to the other part of the green piece and make a double ring, or you can just separate them out and make 2 rings from one piece. And as far as this goes, you can actually just take this and hot glue it onto a piece of fabric or your fabric bracelet that we just made. So many options, so many options. I'll let you go. Tingznice.com. Go to the website for additional information and tutorials and pictures. All right. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. More tutorials and Tingznice videos on the way. Oh, and listen to the podcast.